my biggest blunder?
The biggest blunder I've done in business.
My definite biggest blunder.
Well, depending on how you look at it, it's probably from all business things.
Hello everyone. So like she mentioned, I am Thabisile Sethaba. I am a tech and a deathpreneur. I'll share that a little bit later on. Growing up in the township of Springs, I fell in love with business because my family from both sides, my mom and my dad's side, are always doing business, either selling cakes, food, whatever it is. So that's how I knew I'd always been in business growing up. So fast forward to 2006. So the other hustle that my dad has was exporting clothes from China. So he would buy clothes from China and sell them this side. And every time she'd ask, of course, everyone in the family would have a long list. That's when, I'm not sure if it was less allowed or it was allowed to buy like brands internationally and you could wear them this sides and not have those scanners, because I understand now they've got scanners to see, are you wearing a real Gucci, are you wearing a real Vuitton? So back then it wasn't a huge thing. So we'd all have our list. And I'd send my list, and my dad would bring me all the niceties and all the nice stuff. And there was one time he went, and I don't know how he got inspired by this. He said, you know what? Young women in China are millionaires. They've got their own stores. It's either they're selling one thing or the other. I really think I should stop bringing you stuff, and I should get you stuff to sell. And I said, okay, yes, because I love selling, nothing new. And I think this was the era where internationally Brazilian was kicking off. You know, Brazilian hair, Malaysian hair, whatever hair was at that point in time. And I said, okay, this is a market I could definitely explore. And I tried that market. So we were literally one of the first people that started bringing Brazilian into this country. And because I knew not too much about the industry, that's where some of my biggest blenders came from. So I saw the hair, or I was trying to sell the hair, but it wasn't pushing as much. And I want to give you a little bit of a scenario to tie into what or how that blender came about. I noticed some of us got here quite a little bit early. I mean, we knew this event was going to take place, but it was a little bit earlier, you know. And we were sitting, and I'm sure some of you were like, no, guys, it's Sunday, I want to go back home. I don't think I should wait for this event. I know it's got value, but I mean, it's my time, you know. And that's where I learned that with the Brazilian business, it failed because I came too early into the party. I came at a point where it wasn't a huge thing like now to buy hair. Buying hair now is, I need hair, I'm gonna buy hair. Back then, you need to convince people, why do I buy? I have to buy 3,000 rand hair. Why? And also the supply chain wasn't as much because also the Chinese were trying to figure out which market are we actually going to play in. So the supply wasn't more. And to my own mistakes, I also did not know much about the industry. I just knew I wanted to sell hair. So that was one of my biggest first blunders. And that's how I learned in business, to say that when you're coming a bit early, have staying power, see it through, you know. And to tie to that, and as she mentioned, don't I like coming early to the party all the time? Now I came back with this new category of having, I know it's the jarring concept, the Uber Eats model of funerals, because funerals are on their own, and they call it now the death care industry. It's an untouchable subject. I know many of you in this room don't even want to associate death to yourself, and it's not your fault. Your brain literally blocks it. If you think about your own death, your brain blocks it, doesn't allow it. But this is a conversation that we need to bring into the table, because there's a lot of things that are happening in the death care industry that I believe people should be aware of. Some people are overcovered, some people are undercovered, some people don't even know how much it costs to have a funeral, some people don't even know how to arrange a funeral. And some people don't even know what needs to take place after the person has died. How do we wrap up this estate? Do I need a will? At what age do I need a will? So we brought all those parties and linked it into an app where you can essentially be able to know everything that you have to know about the death care industry. And to our sins, it's also a new category. There's never been something like this. Because number one, death is scary. Now you're talking about technology and death. Who's this one? Which one is this one? You know? And what I've learned is that we got traction. It's quite exciting. And I learned that people are adopting to the app. And like I said, we came into a party a little bit too early. But what I learned this time from the blunders that I did back then on not having enough knowledge about the industry or the customer itself, because it's one thing to develop something great and then you hit the market, nobody wants it, you know? And also have staying power. I think if there's anything that I'd like you to remember from my conversation today is that have grit, stay and see it through. I think I've ventured into other industries. I take the whole day for to talk about my failures. And this is what I like about this session, because we live in an Instagram age where we glorify our good sides and nobody really knows when we go through the most. And I remember having a conversation with Doc, and he said to me, I know you don't like talking, you know? You don't like talking in front of people. You're a techie, you want to be behind the screen and code. But your story can inspire some people. Some people will look at you, and in this age, you all are coming into social media with beautiful stories, but people don't know what you went through before the beauty. So you need to share your beauty. And I'm not saying it's bad for us to showcase, you know, our successes on Instagram. I mean, we've worked hard, but we also need to share our story and inspire some people to say, stay the course. I think the most important thing about entrepreneurship is to stay the course. And secondarily to that is to know your customer so well. And I think that's one of the biggest advantage that I had when I joined the Laura Center of Innovation. It trained me to understand design thinking. It trained me to understand that as much as you want to solve a problem, but you need to know who you're solving it for. And you need to understand the customer so well that this is a pain point, is to shut up and take my money. Because if you come up with a product and the market says, I'd like to really think about it, then maybe it's not a immediate problem. Maybe it's not a, they love using these words in tech. Is it a candy or is it a pill? So the problem that you're trying to solve, is it someone taking a pill to ease it, or is it a nice to have problem? And we are in Africa. I believe we've got so many problems that we have to solve. So I'm very much excited about the fact that we've got all these amazing women here who are trying to solve problems. And I failed a couple of times, and I'm still going to make more mistakes. I don't want to lie, because I'm in love with failure. I feel like failure propels you to do more, to learn more, and become. And the most important thing about the journey of entrepreneurship is also about who you become. Because you learn quite a lot, you know. The things that used to scare me back then, they don't scare me now, you know. I've got new problems. Now I'm on a different scale. I need to fight different fights. I need to fight different failures. I need to make more mistakes for me to be able to learn and to go into this platform and be able to empower other women, and for other women to empower me. And I thank you so much for listening to my story.